Hey there, Canonites, welcome back to another Canon Fodder. The big focus this week is Spartan Strike, a new twin-stick shooter from 343 Industries and Vanguard Games. Originally slated for release back in December, the game was delayed because 343 wanted to focus on fixing the Master Chief Collection. Yesterday, it was somewhat silently released. I say somewhat as 343 did advertise its release the day of. Bonnie Ross, 343 president, tweeted it out, and 3 articles on Halo Waypoint did talk about the new game, including Canon Fodder. Of course, many fans missed it initially because, well, many of us had basically stopped listening for anything new. It doesn't help that the game couldn't be found by searching for it on the Windows Store app on Windows 8.1 or phone. At least, not initially. I can't speak for the iOS version since I don't have any Apple products. And yeah, the game also came out for iOS and Steam. But anyway, the game is out and available to virtually anyone who could want it. Of course, if you want the achievements to count towards your gamer score, you are going to need to get it on a Windows device. Still, 343 did make an effort to make this, and even Spartan Assault for all you iOS users out there, available to everyone, and that deserves some recognition. As you would probably expect, I picked the game up as soon as I could and have been playing it a lot. The game is a vast improvement over Spartan Assault in many ways. More challenging without being cheap, new vehicles and weapons, and the music just makes for an overall more engaging experience. I'll do a proper review on it in the coming weeks as I finish the game and get my thoughts together. Also, once I figure out how to capture gameplay footage. If anyone out there knows how to do that for a Windows 8 computer, please let me know. So, enough gushing, back to the article. After some brief overviews of Spartan Strike, the article moves forward to an interview with 343 producer Frédéric Lapour. While short, it is a fun look at some of the ideas behind Spartan Strike and also clarifies how the game fits into the canon. Somewhat. In Spartan Strike, you'll play a Spartan reliving events of the past. Unlike Spartan Assault, where you controlled Spartans who were actually present, the Spartan in the orange War Master armor is taking the place of whomever was there. The first section of the game is set in 2552, during the Battle of New Mombasa. Canonically, a squad of ODSTs was sent in to recover a Forerunner artifact called the Conduit. But in the simulation, you are a lone Spartan. Later levels take you to Gamma Halo, New Phoenix, and other locations with the same basic setup. The rest of the interview is pretty standard stuff, talking about Easter eggs for events we've seen in other games or media, such as the Scarab making its way across the bridge in Halo 2, and upgrades to the gameplay and asset pool, i.e. weapons, vehicles, etc. It's a fun read, especially if you haven't picked up the game or are on the fence about getting it. Whatever your situation, check it out. The next section once again advertises the Hunt the Truth story. You can check it out on the Hunt the Truth Tumblr page, the Halo channel, or through iTunes. The article wraps up by giving some codes out for Spartan Strike, which have undoubtedly been used by now. So, on to the new Universe articles. This week we have the AV-30 Light Assault VTOL or Kestrel, the City of New Phoenix, and an update to the article on Earth. We start off with the Kestrel, a new vehicle with quite the history. Originally slated for inclusion in Halo 2, the vehicle was cut. In 2014, Megablox revealed a new VTOL, which would eventually be revealed as the canonical Kestrel. In Universe, the Kestrel is manufactured by the Misria Armory. Developed over the course of several years by Oni, the vehicle went through a number of design changes before a final design was settled upon and handed over to Misria for serial production. A fun nod to the Kestrel's real-world development. The VTOL is armed with 2 GAU-10A heavy autocannons, though some experimental models include M302 rocket pods. Next up is New Phoenix. Sadly, there's not a whole lot new to really discuss here, the article basically talking about stuff we've seen either in Halo 4 or in Halo Escalation. I do imagine though that it'll be updated in the not too distant future to reflect some of the new story material revealed in Spartan Strike. Finally, we have Earth. While no genuinely new info is featured, the article has been updated with the wargame map numbers for several maps set on humanity's homeworld. I know this stuff doesn't interest everyone, but it's like Tootsie Rolls for me, individually sweet but absolutely filling in large numbers. There are a ton of Easter eggs in the descriptions too, so let's take a look. First up is Wargames map set 037-2 or Blackout, set on a weather station. The description talks about rumors of alien lifeforms stored at the facility, perhaps a reference to the map's predecessor, Lockout, actually being a flood storage facility. Of course, perhaps there's more to this old weather station than meets the eye. Next is 525-5 Foundation, a former Acheron security combat drone testing facility set in the Chicago Industrial Zone. The Chicago Industrial Zone is an area of urban sprawl which makes up most of Illinois, Wisconsin, and Indiana. Next is 420-6 Orbital, set on the Quito Space Tether. Originally completed in 2313, the facility didn't receive its current name until a rededication ceremony in 2401, during which commemorative plaques dedicated to Tobias Fleming Shaw and Wallace Fujikawa, co-creators of the Shaw-Fujikawa Translite engine, were placed in the station's receiving area. Next we have 040-44 Foundry, a map set in an abandoned Traxxas Heavy Industries warehouse. Then we have 600-3 Rat's Nest. It would seem the location for this map is the ammunition storage facility for the Crow's Nest base. I mean, it's not the biggest revelation since the map was based on the Crow's Nest level from Halo 3's campaign, but it is cool to have some context. Next is 550-7 Standoff, a deep space communications relay once used to receive and transmit signals across the Sol system. The facility has been deemed obsolete due to advances in FTL communications in the post-war era. Then we have 590-1 The Pit. A real training facility, it has since fallen out of use due to advances in wargames technology, an advance that old-school drill instructors lament. Gotta love that there are people who appreciate the old ways, even 500 years in the future.
Why do we always have to listen to this old stuff, Sarge?
Watch your mouth, son. This stuff is your history. It should remind you grunts what we're fighting to protect.
Next up is 673-15 Ghost Town. Once a water purification facility for filtering snowmelt from Mount Kilimanjaro, the facility has since been acquired by the UNSC for live, classified training exercises and wargames simulations. We close with 680-4 Zanzibar, a wind power facility on Zanzibar Island. Decommissioned early in the 26th century, it, like Ghost Town, was used for classified military training exercises and later assimilated into the wargame simulation. The description makes it clear that every version of Zanzibar, the original, Halo 3's Last Resort, and Halo 2 Anniversary Stonetown, are three separate recreations of the same location, more or less showing the facility from its prime to a state of disrepair after decades of neglect. I mean, we kind of knew this already, but it's still fun to read about. So, that's Canon Fodder for this week. Short, sweet, and a fun read as always. If you want to read the article for yourself, and I highly encourage you to do so, check the link in the description or head over to HaloWaypoint.com. Looking forward, along with the normal weekly updates, I'm finally moving forward with Part 5 of my Halo story series, which will detail the events of the Human Forerunner War. I also have a video in the works about the canon content of Halo Online. Anyway, that's all for today. This has been Halo Canon, and if you'll excuse me, I need to get back to my Spartan Strike. Hey guys, thanks for watching my video. It means more than I can express in a few minutes of audio. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it around on whatever social media you see fit, and all that jazz. Thank you so much. Your support is everything. I would not be where I am without you. Thanks.